Bhajahure manam Sri Nanda Nandanaya Bhaya Charanara Bindari Bhajahure manam Sri Nanda Nandanaya Bhaya Charanara Bindari.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Jai Sparikar Shri Shri Guru Garanga Shri Shri Gandharvika Giri Hariju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Okay, so before chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, first you'll chant the Panchatattva mantra. You can hear that mantra from me. The mantra is Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. We'll chant that mantra and bow down to Panchatattva. By their grace, they are very merciful. Our offenses are excused, and so we have can chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, taking the benefit of their mercy, the mercy of the Sri Panchatattva. So after chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, beginning with the large bead, and then proceeding to the smallest one, and not crossing over this bead. When you get to this bead, the small one there, reverse and go back again back to the large bead. This bead is Srila Sridhar Maharaj called Mount Sumeru. He said it is known as Mount Sumeru. So, not to cross over Mount Sumeru. Leave that to some others to do. So, chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I will give you that mantra now, so please listen attentively. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the great mantra for deliverance, chant 16 rounds daily on this japa mala. One round means going this way to this, and one round that way going back. And so this is the general instruction, is to chant 16 rounds daily. That instruction was given by Srila Saraswati Thakur to his disciples, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj to his disciples, Srila Sridhar Maharaj to his disciples, Srila Govinda Maharaja to his disciples. But Srila Sridhar Maharaj did not think it was, did not like to see that a devotee would give so much emphasis to the chanting of those 16 rounds that he ignored other important things, such as his health or his life. And also his service. So if there is any service necessity, then one can chant a minimum of 4 rounds daily. Generally, such service necessity occurs with those who are living in the temple or ashram or mat. There's much demand on Lila Sundari Devi and others who live in the mat. And those who live in the mat will find, and outside also, but those who are feel the urgency of the intense urgency of necessity of service will find when they are chanting their japa that the idea of service comes to their mind. Oh, I should be doing this. Oh, I should be doing that. And so those services are also vital. Atak Shri Krishna Namadina Bhavad Grayam Indriyai Sevan Muke Hi Jivado Swayam Evas Paratyada. It is service that reveals to us all the holy things, the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So service to the Vaishnava is always first and foremost. So if we're chanting japa and higher Vaishnava calls us for service, then we should not refuse. We should immediately take the opportunity. We may say, I'm chanting japa, my Guru Maharaj has given me this duty, and then he may say, oh, then finish, or not. But his order, the order of the Vaishnava, is always supreme. So when devotees asked Srila Sridhar Maharaj, what about this? What was... because we had heard that, in Sridhar Maharaj's Math, devotees are only chanting 4 rounds. And so our Guru, Swami Maharaj, said chant 16 rounds. So one of those arguments I told you that I was hearing from my godbrothers, this is bogus. Sridhar Maharaj is saying 4 rounds, but Swami Maharaj said 16 rounds. That's the standard. Well, first, the standard is what the Guru sets. That's the first thing. What do we know about we're going to argue with our Guru. No, the standard is 32. No, it's 64. No, it's 16. No, is that what we're... No, that's not our place. That's not our position or anything. We won't get anywhere with that. So anyway, when asked the question, how many rounds did Saraswati Thakur prescribe for his disciple? Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, there was no such consideration. What he advised was that you serve under the guidance of a higher Vaishnava. So that's supreme. So we have to remember that. But at any rate, don't take that as an excuse to, neglect your japa. Chant 16 rounds, 4 rounds minimum, daily. The japa should not be, the mala should not be left fasting. So try to give attention every day. And there's much benefit to the chanting of this mantra, and it should be done in the mood of, not in the form of an appeal, but in the form of service, that I'm not asking for anything, and there's no request, only I am chanting and I'm hearing. I'm chanting Hare Krishna, and I'm hearing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's real simple. Don't make it complicated. Don't try to imagine the sound. I'm chanting and Krishna's blue. The room is turning blue or something like that. But if that should happen, then keep chanting. It will go away. So that was Prabhupada's advice to one of his disciples, I think. So anyway, chant 16 rounds, 4 rounds minimum. Be happy, chant and be happy. Prabhupada wanted everyone to be happy, and the way to be happy is through the chanting of this Hare Krishna mantra, the great mantra for deliverance. So do that and serve Guru and Vaishnava with great care and attention, and your life will be perfect. You will get everything that one could attain through spiritual practice. It will all come to you. So a name I selected for you, thinking about Lord Nityananda, the merciful Nityananda, I think appropriate name is Dayardra Nitai. Dayardra Nitai means Nityananda, who is so compassionate, very compassionate Nityananda. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, then you can we'll set your beads here, and now you present this basket of goodies for me. This is Guru Dakshin. Jai Shri Gurudev. And now you have to do Guru Puja. So with Guru Puja, you should offer some flower and incense, and I'll try to tell you how to do this. Is there something to light the incense? Lighter, matches or something? All right, so this will be a little difficult. First the flower. First offer incense first. Okay. We're very proper here. Okay, so you offer the incense to the feet, and then to the midsection, and then the entire body, and you'll have to chant this mantra.
Atam manam api sachi putram atra svarupam rupam tasya grajam uru puram mathoram rastapatim radha kundam irivaram aho radhika matavasam prapto yasya pratita kripaya sri gurum tam natosmi.
Jai. Okay, very good. And when offering, the incense is done this way, in circles like this,
Okay.
clockwise. Okay. Okay. And now just offer the flower only to the feet, some circles to the feet. You know mantram Ain, you can say Ain Gurave Namaha. That is the mantram for offering to Guru. Ain Gurave. Ain Gurave Namaha. And also you can use Pranam mantram Om Agyana Timarandasya. Do you know that mantram? Om Agyana Agyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. My spiritual master I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master has opened my eyes with the torchlight of spiritual knowledge. That's the meaning. Okay, Jai. Jai Sri Dayardra Nitai Ki Jai. And now, please offer your obeisances to the devotees present. And to this. He brought a cloth with him. This cloth you can use for something to collect some alms. Okay, then just hold it out like this, so you can catch something in it. And let's see, what is the mantra for that? For ladies, Bhavati Bikam Dehi. Bhavati Bikam Dehi. So it means, please give me something. Dear lady, Bhavati means dear lady. Bhavati. Bhavati Bikam, I'm begging for something. Bhavati Bikam Dehi. And for gentlemen, Bhavam Bikam Dehi. Bikam Dehi. Okay. Well, you can ask in English if you like.
Please give me something. I don't know what can compare to the holy name.
Go. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And then you bring that collection to your guru.
Your feet or hands?
No, just give. You can just take it and give to me. Anything else? Is this it? Okay. 2 bills. Jai. Jai Gurudev. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Sriman Gokulananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Jai Srimati Lila Sundari Devi Dasi Ki Jai. Temple President Lila Sundari Devi Dasi Ki Jai. Jai Sriman Dayardra Nitai Prabhu Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Haribol. Gaur Haribol. Okay. So, Gokulananda, would you, already in my talk, I think, my glorification of His divine grace. And we'd like to hear from Sriman Gokulananda something. one of his oldest disciples here in this area, the Northeast, maybe the whole East, maybe most of the United States. And Gokulananda is very impressive because he's unwavering in his dedication to the service of Srila Govinda Maharaj. So that is the quality that is so desirable. Govinda Maharaj said to me one time that one may do so many, a disciple may do so many things wrong. He may not be so qualified, but if he is loyal, then that quality is highly appreciated and highly valuable. Gokulananda Prabhu has always showed that loyalty to His Divine Grace, Srila Govinda Maharaj, and we all will learn a lesson from him to follow that practice. So if you would please say something for our benefit. Yeah, do you want to sit down?
Yeah, when driving up today, I remembered something that I hadn't thought about since 1975. These things, you get flashes of recollection. I guess it was there all along, but I don't know this thing. Oh, okay, we'll leave it like that. See if it works. Yeah, I hold it. But a lot of I can barely remember these days. I can barely remember what I did 2 days before. So short-term memory is slowly going. Long-term memory also, you tend to remember things very clearly, but only little snippets of things. But whatever few things you can hold, they're very clear as I'm getting older. But there's mostly everything. It's like, they say that you get to a certain point, you have more years behind than in front. That's the same with memory. It's like when I was 20, I could remember practically everything that happened when I was a child. Now I have like 10 to 12 sort of go-to memories of being young, and everything else has been discarded to make room for I don't know what. I can barely remember anything these days, huh? Anyway, one thing I did remember, first time I'd thought about it, probably since 1975, is when I lived in New Delhi. My mother had a guru. I had totally forgotten this.
Really?
Yeah.
They never told me that.
I didn't remember it. But yeah, it was, I was thinking on the drive up that there's a certain cultural...
Your mother had a guru in Delhi?
Yeah, there was a cultural imperative amongst women of a certain class in India.
High society.
Well, everyone has a guru in India, unless you're a Muslim. And even then, there's like some... We could go on. There's no need to discuss everything. This is not a comparative religion. But anyway, my mother had a guru, and her friends were all the housewife, the wife of foreign dignitaries and other scientists, and the privileged foreign class, and they mixed with the highly educated, European educated class of Indians. We lived on the border of Old and New Delhi, on this one road where all the dignitaries, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but anyway, first I started thinking about how my parents were against me taking initiation. So much so that they were hiding from me in the house, hiding in their bedroom, books on deprogramming and all of this, right? Nothing came of it because I think they were studying to see if I went full crazy, started cutting myself like some types. When you don't know much, you can project a lot of horror into the spots where there's no.
Flailing yourself.
Yeah, whatever,
Crown of thorns on your head.
Yeah, I mean, you read, various things to them in the Moonies, Hare Krishna, Reverend Jim Jones. They're all potentially the same thing. So I started thinking about that, and then for the first time in like 35 years, 40 years, I remembered. But wait a second, my mother had a guru, but it was her guru that recommended. He was I'm amazed I can remember this detail, but he was affiliated with the Birla Temple in Old Delhi, and it's because of him that I got to go to Birla Temple. And that's where I got my first Bhagavad Gita, age 8, which I still have. I've preserved it, although it's not my go-to scripture, far from it. But it is one of the few mementos that I keep for someone who's thrown away most everything from my earlier life. I keep 5 or 6 things, and that's one of the things. And I had an interesting experience at Birla Temple. There's this one room. They usually don't show it, except on like special occasions. It's a room probably about 4 times the size of this temple room, 50 by 50 feet, but easily 75 feet tall. And the whole room is covered in these tiny little mirrors, about 1 inch by 3/4 of an inch. And there's like a design, a very regal design to the walls and the ceilings, And it's filled with these mirrors, so every place you look, you're seeing literally 50,000 versions of you looking back. And the head pujari there, who had snuck me in because he liked children, he thought it was Sahib, these nice white kids coming, he wanted to show something. And he said, "You see, this is how God sees you." But my mother, her guru was just some, the high society ladies. You had to have a guru, right? And so she had one, and he would give something about Bhagavad Gita, 5 minutes maybe. It's always like feel good. Oh, life to life, you will be doing good things will be happening to you. I went with her a few times. She would go every Wednesday or something, right, for 2 hours. And I just think it's funny that when I finally was in a position to beg initiation from Srila Govinda Maharaja, which I did, that whole process, I think subconsciously I'd remembered it from when my mother did it. Yeah, because most Westerners, they, you find yourself in the position where you want initiation, thinking about taking initiation. Come on, take initiation, right? We'll shave you up right in the back here. We've done a few of those here, but I think in the more, when you're in India, there's some more. There's more to it. It's usually, the guru. You have many gurus. You have a family guru, right? The one who officiates at your birth. And then as you get older, you'll have other gurus, and if you become serious about spiritual study, then you get the spiritual master, of which all other gurus kind of go into the background. They're seen as a preamble, guides along the way to the main road. But my mother had a guru, this woman from born in the 1940s in Chicago. No connection to Eastern mysticism at all. But for a year or 2 years, whatever, 1 year in New Delhi, she went every week to see her guru. And I can't, state that there was anything, substantial really going on there. But the process, at least in India, they're giving at least lip service, some superficiality. The guru-disciple relationship, it's a well-known principle there. Here, it's also very much in effect, but people don't recognize it for what it is. We all have gurus. You don't have to be a practitioner in our movement to have a guru. The thing is that everyone's guru outside of this mission range from completely unconnected to reality to some shadowy connection to reality, maybe some substantial, slightly substantial connection, but you really it's a lot of guesswork. And what attracted me, I originally was involved with ISKCON, but that didn't last too long because I had a friend of mine, god brother, Krishna Balaram Das, who may actually be the oldest Govinda Maharaj disciple, right? And as far as he predated me by some months, I think, right? Didn't he? He took initiation from Srila Govinda Maharaj. When I met him, I thought he'd take initiation from Srila Sridhar Maharaj, but a few years later he said, no. He took initiation like 1989 or 88 or something. And you officiated. No?
Parmadwaiti Maharaj.
Oh, Parmadwaiti Maharaj. So it must have been around 88.
87.
Yeah.
87 or 88.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I didn't hear about it until much later. I didn't know he'd taken initiation until I heard it from you, I think.
Yeah, and so I think I met him just after he took initiation. Anyway, so he gave me, I think, a Search for Sri Krishna. And I read this book. And the same feeling I had reading Srila Prabhupada's books, I was feeling, this is also from this is the same source.
When I took him on that road trip, was
That
he
was-
initiated then?
No, it was Bhakta Joe.
Bhakti Joe.
Yeah, he took initiation after the road trip ended, sometime 6 to 9 months later. I think he was living with
So that was about 85 or 6. So probably 86.
86, 87, something like this.
Oh.
And I met him in 88, late 87, early 88.
Well, then he stayed in San Jose for at least 6 months or so
6
before
months.
coming back to New
Yeah.
York.
And then he was staying in that,
Probably right around 87,
and
probably just before I came there.
it's right on the basement. He was in the basement. And that's when Parmadwaiti Swami, I think, came through the first time, around 87, 87, early 88. Oh, possibly early, you were right, Maharaj, 87. Anyway, so there's that, and so that was in 1988, and that was the same year Srila Sridhar Maharaj disappeared. And I think then shortly thereafter, I was kicked out of ISKCON because I wouldn't agree to no longer read the books of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and there's also some other, but that was the main problem they had with me, is that I saw Srila Sridhar Maharaj as a pure devotee, the same as I saw Srila Prabhupada. And they couldn't digest that, so I left. I was asked to leave, which I complied with completely. This was 1988, and then 6 months later, around early 1990, late 89, sometime in 1989, I came into your connection. And then, you're talking about Srila Govinda Maharaj telling the story of Gaudiya Math. Well, through you and Krishna Balaram Das, I learned the story of what happened from the time you took initiation as a sannyas, 1982 or 83, 81. Yeah, you were the first Western sannyas. 1981, through the establishment of the mission here by the order of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. He ordered you to establish a mission on the East Coast here in this area. I think that was 1987, yeah. And then
March of '87.
March '87, and Krishna Balaram and a few others. I think Rohini Kumar, Prabhu, and was Divya Shakti or is
Yeah.
it Divya Shakti Didi was there, and
Well, she took initiation afterwards. She helped us from pretty early on. She wasn't initiated then. She hadn't been initiated yet. She was book distributor and collector in ISKCON in Los Angeles.
yeah,
And she'd come to New York and started reading some of Srila Maharaj's books in Vamshi Dhari's
Vamsi Dari,
place.
right in Bayonne, New Jersey.
No, not.
Well, he was
in
probably in Queens at that.
Yeah.
He ended up in Bayonne
Ah, right.
with his brother. I think they owned a store of some kind.
Yeah, at that time he had he was just opening a grocery store and he letting some devotees stay in the downstairs.
Yeah, and there was also that man and his wife, also in New Jersey. Name.
Oh, New Jersey?
Yeah, you remember first time Govinda Maharaj was here. We some devotees were staying with them. It was it's probably a
Yeah,
discussion best not recorded at this juncture. But some of the details I remember are probably a little off the wall things. But anyway, there were a core of devotees. Sulok Shan, now Shobhana Krishna was, I guess, there, and Jitendra Mohan. I mean, you certainly had seen them once or twice, right?
Yeah,
They were
Jitendra. Something. Well, Jitendra, remember, he also went with me in '86, I guess it was.
with Bhakta Joe.
Yeah.
There's a very interesting article written by then Bhakta Joe, our Krishna Balaram Prabhu. He wrote it several years ago. It was called On the Road with Giri Maharaj, and it details their cross-country trip and with Maharaj's truck pulling this trailer and the adventures the adventures.
Like an RV.
Yeah, it would probably make a very interesting short film if we could get the right actors. But anyway, these were the original group, and I came in after that thing kind of waned, and Giri Maharaj then established the mission here. It was around just after his departure, some months there. That's when I had reluctantly heard his name whispered, and I became so curious naturally. Well, who is this sannyasi? And so you don't want to go see him. He's mean. He does, he treated us badly, etc., etc. And even at a young age,
These were the devotees of our mind.
right?
Not ISKCON, our mind.
Right. But it seems, that's the natural state, the natural flux.
With Giri Maharaja.
No. I think of.
This is wrong, and this is right.
It's true. It's true. Maharaj has a lot of that, but I think it's fair that it seems to go with the territory of a preacher. It's somebody who's trying to fight Maya. That this is the kind of thing that you will see. It's not just you. I mean, yes, of course it's you. And I've personally, over the last 25 years, I've seen it. I can attest better than anyone what Giri Maharaj has gone through in trying to establish a mission and preach here in the line of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. But that said, it's also a lot of devotees have had the same experience. Again, I don't want to detail all of these stories on a video. I don't know how much of it we want, but I've seen a lot of things over the years. I've sort of had a bird's eye view as the fly on the wall, because there really was, for a while, at least 10 years, it was just basically me and Maharaj, before even Lila Sundari came. That was it. So whenever, Maharaj needed a servant, we need someone to, I'm going to see, we're going to go see Srila Govinda Maharaj. I know you're going back to New York, but I want to go to see him in Florida. Would you like to come and be my servant, my assistant?
I never said that.
Well, you kind of convinced me to. I was planning to go back to New York, and you're like, "Come on, let's go."
I never had any idea that he was my servant.
Not servant, but I ended up doing your laundry and helping out, and if you needed something, it was.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. So that I mean,
By your grace.
some assistance. Maybe you'd like to come along, whatever it is. Hop along, Cassidy. Who was his?
I
His
just thought you
nineteen?
should go and see it and be with
Yeah. So we went. It was. All I remember is how hot it was, but
it. Yeah.
it was pretty hot. Anyhow.
Much worse for you than me.
Yeah, well, it was anyway. I was young; I could take it, no problem. But the whole point of this this rambling monologue is that from the time we come in contact with the spiritual master, I don't think it probably the gravity of what had taken place probably didn't hit me for 20 years. Yeah, because when you take initiation, it seems like, are you actually, yes, you're taking something, but really you're being given something. I think that's what it took some time to realize, that these things that we think we know what's happening, I don't think it's hard to fathom. I mean, you mentioned something Govinda Maharaj said that actually before an initiation ceremony, I think you asked him, Maharaj, I don't think they know what they're getting, and he said something to the effect of, it is through initiation that you are given a spiritual body, that your guru is kind of establishing a body for you to do service with. It's not your mundane body. That's why it's so a key element to the process is taking initiation and doing service to a bona fide guru in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not just, I have so many people are saying, well, I've been chanting for 20 years, but they've never been initiated. And I'm thinking, okay, but what is that chanting? Prabhupada used to say that it's like if you're a young man, but your father is extremely wealthy, whether you accept it or not, you have his backing. His wealth is behind you should you need it, and that's the necessity of the spiritual master. And it took me decades to get to that point where I realized that, that the spiritual body, that is something I had never really considered. Certainly not when I took initiation back in 92, I think it was 92? 92. All I was thinking of was, it's a pure devotee. I have access to a pure Vaishnava guru in the line of Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Sridhar Maharaj pointed to him directly. That's all I needed to know. Ready to go. But, as the years go on, slowly it begins to dawn exactly how much gravity, what is actually, you get some tiny understanding a little bit, and it's mind-blowing, actually. So, my mother may have had some guru, but it's not a guru that, some benefit is there. Something of Bhagavad Gita was there, even some pale reflection. But what to speak of doing just some service to an actual bona fide representative of our line in an authorized way with the spiritual body that was part of the thing that you are also accepting today on your initiation, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Lila Sundari, would you like to say anything in glorification of Srila Govinda Maharaj?
Yeah, I'll say something.
You can just hold it like this and speak into it.
I remember in Navadvip got real hot and real sick, and Gurudev came over to me and called for Giri Maharaj to help me out and get myself together in Vrindavan, and I got real sick, and then they sent for some medicine or something for me, and then I remember one thing that was humorous in Vrindavan when I got used to the area and I started walking around, and I was at the Kund, visited the Kund in Vrindavan and stuff like that, and he got me upstairs to the top of the roof, and he told me over there's some grass that's still growing from Krishna's time when Sundar Govinda Maharaj went and told me there's some grass over there that is still growing from Vrindavan. And I thought, oh wow, that's really neat. Even though I couldn't see it from the top, he said you can walk over down there, and there's an area that is still not touched, that he said Krishna walked on and everything. And then I after I got sick, and then I had some strength and got better, I went down to the little grocery store they had, and they all told me, watch out for the monkeys, make sure that you don't have any problem with the monkeys. And I went and got some provolone cheese and some Muller's macaroni, and I think I got some sauce too. I'm not sure. And I got a whole long vat of cheese in a whole big thing, and I got my Muller's macaroni, and I got some tofu in balls, Nutella. It was really cheap there, so I went and got it. And then all of a sudden I was walking down the corridor past the grocery store, and I was feeling really weak, but I still was getting the stuff that Giri Maharaj and I thought I'd make some nice preparation. And then all of a sudden, like 4 or 5 of the little monkeys came over with one big monkey and then quite a few middle monkeys in between. And I said, no, you're not going to get my handbag. No, you're not going to get this. No, you're not going to get that. No, no, no. And then all of a sudden, I said, are you going to misbehave or not? Or am I going to scold you or something? And then off they went with the biggest handful. They took the Muller's macaroni. And I said, oh, you took the Muller's macaroni. And then they just couldn't stop laughing, because they went, the monkeys, even the little babies, they couldn't stop laughing because they knew who I was and I knew who they were, and they were just, I said, don't you dare. And then they did, and I thought, well, they aren't going to attack me because I said certain things. So they went right immediately. They ran up a pole and scattered all the Muller's macaroni over the tin roof. And it sounded like thunder and lightning. And they were laughing respectfully about the whole thing. And I thought, you rascals, you. But they weren't. I said, couldn't you wait till I cooked it first? And made it soft. No, they wanted hard. They wanted to play around and make noise and then store up their wheat for their Muller's macaroni. I thought, oh, you monkeys! All right, go ahead, take the Muller's macaroni, but you can't take the cheese. And that's when I came home and got Maharaj the cheese and Nutella, and we later on had that printed in the little post that monkeys attack.
Wrote up the story in some Vrindavan paper.
Yeah.
Seized property of
Lila Sundari or something, or Vaishnav. I don't remember what the title was.
It's too bad. Did they have
Yeah.
a picture or no?
They had a little picture. They had a little article or something.
No, I mean in the newspaper they have a picture of the victim.
I don't think. I don't think. I think they just had a little highlight of
Like a few little words.
yeah.
More than a few. It was like a quarter of the top page, the top fold, or something like that.
But the baby monkeys were a little bit like, oh, are we really supposed to do this?
This is
Or,
what they learn.
you know,
Just horrible behavior.
are we really supposed to like do it? And not the cheese, and then they took the wheat. I thought that
No,
was
you
kinda-
have to say something about Govinda
Well,
Maharaj.
Well, I thought of Sundar Govinda Maharaj when they were taking the Muller's macaroni because
We took the newspaper article when we were in Vrindavan. Govinda Maharaj was in Calcutta.
yeah, he was in
So
Calcutta.
when we went back to Calcutta, then when we went back to Calcutta, I showed Govinda Maharaj the paper, the newspaper, and he read it, and he just started laughing. He thought it was just very, very funny, and he said, "Vrindavan, that is the perfect place for Lila Sundari."
Yes.
And I told him all the shopkeepers had liked her so much, and everyone there liked her, you know. And he said, "Yes, that is the perfect place for Lila Sundari Devi." So
It all made sense suddenly. Okay.
a natural resident. Anything else, Leela? Okay. Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Avirbhav Mahamahotsava ki Jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Haribol. Gaur Haribol. Okay, then we'll stop there and we'll have Pushpanjali and some kirtan, etc. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Rakak Shrirar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Giradhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Haribol. Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Gaur Haribol, Gaur Haribol.